A man once stood at the edge of losing everything. Not loudly, not dramatically. No one saw him break. He still answered people with a smile. He still went to work. He still checked on others. He still said, I am okay, while his heart felt like it was being washed with fire. At night, when the world became quiet, he would sit alone and ask, Allah, what is happening to me? Why is everything becoming difficult at the same time? Why did the people I trusted change? Why did the door I prayed for close? Why did my heart become so tired when all I wanted was to be close to you? And then one night, something strange happened. He noticed that the same pain that was breaking him was also changing him. The same hardship that made him cry was removing arrogance from his heart. The same rejection that wounded him was saving him from depending on people. The same delay that made him feel forgotten was teaching him to rely on Allah in a way he had never relied before. He was not only being tested, he was being purified. And my brother, my sister, listen carefully. Sometimes Allah does not remove something from your life because He is punishing you. Sometimes He removes it because it is staining your heart. Sometimes Allah does not delay your reward because He has denied you. Sometimes He delays it because your soul is being prepared to carry it. Sometimes the pain is not the end of your story. Sometimes the pain is the washing of your story. Because greater rewards are not placed into a heart that is still trapped by pride, envy, anger, bitterness, and attachment to people. Allah purifies before He raises. Allah cleans before He gives. Allah empties before He fills. And the strange part is this: purification often feels like loss before it feels like mercy. It feels like Allah is taking something away, when in reality He is removing what would have destroyed the blessing. It feels like your life is falling apart, when in reality the parts that were built on weakness are being taken down. It feels like you are alone, when in reality Allah is bringing you closer. So if your heart has been heavy, if your plans have been breaking, if people have been leaving, if your old self no longer feels comfortable, do not rush to call yourself abandoned. You may be in one of the most sacred seasons of your life. You may be under the care of Allah in a hidden way. You may be going through a purification that looks painful on the outside, but in the unseen, it is preparing you for a reward your current heart cannot even imagine. One, Allah removes what you were beginning to worship in your heart. One of the first signs Allah is purifying you for greater rewards is this: He begins to remove the thing your heart was holding too tightly. Not because the thing was always evil, not because love is wrong, not because success is wrong, not because comfort is wrong, but because the heart of a believer is not created to bow secretly to anything besides Allah. And sometimes without even realizing it, a person begins to depend on a job more than Allah. They begin to depend on a relationship more than Allah. They begin to depend on people's approval more than Allah. They begin to depend on money, beauty, reputation, talent, or one specific dream so much that if that thing shakes, their entire faith shakes with it. That is when mercy may come in a painful form. Allah may loosen your grip. He may allow distance. He may allow disappointment. He may allow a door to close. He may allow the thing you thought you could not live without to move away from you, until you realize something that your comfortable life never taught you. You can live without many things, but you cannot live without Allah. My brother, my sister, this is not easy. Because when Allah removes an attachment, the heart screams like something is dying. And in a way, something is dying. The false dependence is dying. The hidden worship of creation is dying. The need to be seen by people is dying. The belief that one human being controls your future is dying. The belief that one opportunity is your only path is dying. And while it dies, it hurts. You may ask, why did they leave me? But Allah may be teaching you they were never your source. You may ask, why did this plan fail? But Allah may be teaching you your plan was not your protector. You may ask, why did I lose what made me feel safe? But Allah may be teaching you safety is not in what you hold. Safety is in the one holding you. Think of a child holding a sharp blade. The child cries when the parent takes it away. The child feels wronged. The child does not understand love in that moment. To the child, it looks like removal. To the parent, it is protection. And sometimes we are like that with our attachments. We hold things that cut our soul. We hold people who drain our faith. We hold dreams that make us arrogant. We hold attention that feeds our ego. We hold comfort that makes us forget the purpose of life. Then when Allah takes it away, we cry over the loss, not realizing that the loss may be saving our heart from a deeper wound. Purification begins when Allah shows you what had power over you. That is why you may feel suddenly exposed inside. You may notice how angry you become when people do not praise you. You may notice how empty you feel when someone stops texting you. You may notice how anxious you become when money becomes tight. You may notice how bitter you feel when another person receives what you wanted. Do not ignore those moments. Those are mirrors. Allah is showing you where your heart is still chained. And if He shows you the chain, it is because He wants to free you from it. A person may say, I am patient until Allah allows delay. A person may say, I trust Allah until Allah closes the door they wanted. A person may say, I only seek Allah until people stop clapping. A person may say, I am humble until someone else is chosen in their place. That moment is not meant to destroy you. It is meant to reveal you to yourself. Because the reward Allah is preparing may require a cleaner heart. A heart that does not become drunk on praise. A heart that does not collapse from rejection. A heart that does not become cruel after success. A heart that receives blessings and still remembers the giver. So if something has been removed from your life, ask yourself gently, was my heart holding this too tightly? Do not hate yourself. Do not drown in guilt. Just return. Say with your actions, Allah, I love this, but I do not worship it. I wanted it, but I do not depend on it. I miss it, but I know you are enough for me. That is purification. When you can lose something and still not lose Allah, you are being made stronger. When you can cry and still pray, you are being made deeper. When you can be disappointed and still choose obedience, you are being made ready. Because Allah may give you more later. But first He teaches your heart not to be owned by what He gives to. Your hidden sins begin to disturb you more than before. The second sign Allah is purifying you for greater rewards is this. Your hidden sins no longer feel light. Things you used to do casually now trouble your heart. Words you used to say without thinking now feel heavy. Private habits you used to excuse now bring sadness. You may still fall. You may still struggle. You may still have moments of weakness. But something inside you has changed. You cannot enjoy disobedience the way you once did. You may be sitting among people, smiling, acting normal, but inside your heart is whispering, this is not who I want to be. That discomfort is a mercy. Do not hate it. Do not run from it. A dead heart sins and feels nothing. A waking heart sins and feels pain. That pain is not proof that you are finished. That pain may be proof that Allah has not left your heart to die. Some people misunderstand purification. They think if Allah is purifying them, they will instantly become perfect. No, purification often begins with awareness. You start seeing the dust that was always there. You start feeling ashamed of things that once made you laugh. You start regretting time you wasted. You start noticing the damage of your tongue. You start seeing how pride enters your intentions. You start seeing how jealousy hides behind a smile. You start seeing how anger makes you unfair. At first, this can feel terrible. You may say, why am I seeing so much darkness in myself? But understand this carefully. When sunlight enters a room, it reveals the dust. The dust was already there. The light did not create it. The light exposed it. In the same way, when Allah brings light into your heart, you may suddenly become aware of weaknesses you ignored for years. That does not mean you became worse. It may mean you are finally seeing clearly. And the one who sees clearly can begin to change. My brother, my sister, there is a difference between guilt that brings you back to Allah and guilt that pushes you into despair. The first is mercy. The second is a trap. Healthy regret says, I have done wrong, but the door of Allah is open. Despair says, I have done wrong, so there is no point returning. Never listen to despair. Despair is not humility. Despair is not faith. Despair is a lie that tries to make your sin bigger than the mercy of Allah. Yes, take your sin seriously, but take the mercy of Allah even more seriously. If you feel disturbed by hidden sins, that is a call to return, not a sentence of rejection. Allah may be preparing a greater reward for you, but before that reward comes, He may clean the private place of your heart. Because public image means nothing if the private life is rotting. A person may appear successful, religious, respected, calm and wise, but Allah sees what no one else sees. He sees the secret glance. He sees the hidden envy. He sees the silent arrogance. He sees the jealousy behind the compliment. He sees the prayer done for praise. He sees the charity done for reputation. He sees the cruelty hidden behind polite words. And if Allah wants good for a person, He does not allow them to remain blind to themselves. He wakes them up, sometimes through a sermon, sometimes through a loss, sometimes through a humiliating mistake, sometimes through a sentence someone says that pierces the heart, sometimes through a night where the soul feels tired of pretending. And suddenly the person says, I cannot continue like this. That moment is a gift. Do not waste it. When your hidden sins begin to disturb you, do not only say, I feel bad. Make a small, real change. Leave one habit, clean one corner, guard one door, apologize to one person, remove one source of temptation. Replace one private sin with one private act of worship. Because purification is not only crying. Purification is choosing differently after the tears. You may not become perfect overnight, but if every fall brings you back faster, you are growing. If every mistake makes you more humble, you are being cleaned. If every regret makes you more sincere, you are being prepared. And sometimes Allah allows you to see your weakness before He gives you strength, because the person who remembers their weakness is less likely to become arrogant when strength arrives. That is why some of your shame may become a shield. Some of your regret may become wisdom. Some of your private battles may become the reason you become gentle with others. You will not look down on people easily because you know your own need for mercy. You will not speak harshly about sinners because you know Allah covered you too. You will not act like you are self-made because you know how many times Allah rescued you from yourself. This is purification. When hidden sins no longer feel normal. When your soul becomes tired of darkness. When your heart says, I want to be clean even if the world never knows. That is a beautiful sign. Because Allah may be preparing you for a reward that requires sincerity deeper than the eyes of people. 3, you are tested through people until your heart stops living for people. The third sign Allah is purifying you for greater rewards is this. People begin to disappoint you in ways that change your heart. Someone you trusted may misunderstand you. Someone you helped may forget you. Someone you defended may speak against you. Someone you loved may become distant. Someone you expected support from may disappear exactly when you needed them. And the pain is not only what they did. The pain is that you did not expect it from them. That is the wound that goes deep. You keep replaying it. How could they? After everything, why did Allah allow me to see this side of them? Listen carefully. Sometimes Allah shows you the weakness of people, so you stop building your life on them. Not so you hate them, not so you become cold, not so you become suspicious of everyone, but so your heart stops begging creation for what only the Creator can give. People are not perfect. Even good people are limited. They get tired. They misunderstand. They forget. They change. They carry their own wounds. They may love you and still fail you. They may care and still not know how to stand with you. They may promise and still break. If your heart expects people to act like they have no weakness, you will live wounded forever. Purification teaches you balance. Love people, but do not worship their presence. Respect people, but do not depend on their praise. Serve people, but do not make their gratitude your oxygen. Forgive people, but do not hand them the place in your heart that belongs to Allah. One of the greatest purifications is when Allah frees you from the prison of people's opinions. At first, you may live for approval. You dress for them. You speak for them. You post for them. You choose for them. You stay silent because of them. You abandon dreams because of them. You carry guilt because of them. You fear their criticism more than you fear displeasing Allah. Then Allah allows a moment where their approval fails you. The people you tried so hard to please still judge you. The people you sacrificed for still misunderstand you. The people you wanted to impress still ignore you. And something inside you breaks. But if you respond correctly, that breaking becomes freedom. You finally say, I cannot live like this anymore. I cannot hand my peace to people. I cannot make human approval my compass. That is not bitterness. That is maturity. My brother, my sister, greater rewards require a heart that is not controlled by crowds. Because if Allah raises you while you are still addicted to approval, praise will corrupt you. If Allah gives you influence while your heart is hungry for attention, attention will poison you. If Allah gives you wealth while you live for comparison, wealth will make you restless. If Allah gives you a platform while you fear people more than Allah, you may sell your truth for applause. So Allah purifies you through disappointment. He lets you taste the limits of people before He gives you something that will put people around you. He teaches you not to chase them before He allows them to notice you. He teaches you to stand with Allah when no one claps. So when people later clap, your heart does not bow to them. Think about it. Many people can handle hardship, but they cannot handle attention. Many people can stay humble when no one knows them, but when people praise them, their soul changes. Many people pray sincerely in secret, but when they are seen, the intention becomes mixed. So before Allah gives a greater reward, He may train you in hiddenness. He may allow loneliness. He may allow people to leave. He may allow you to be misunderstood. He may allow your name to be forgotten. Not because He wants to erase you, but because He is teaching you to exist before Him, not before them. This is why the test through people is so painful. It touches the ego. It touches the need to be loved. It touches the wound of rejection. But it also reveals what rules your heart. If one person's silence can destroy your entire peace, your heart is attached. If one person's criticism can make you abandon obedience, your heart is chained. If one person's approval can make you proud, your heart is vulnerable. So Allah purifies you. He teaches you to smile without needing validation. He teaches you to do good without needing thanks. He teaches you to walk away from harm without revenge. He teaches you to forgive without becoming naive. He teaches you to love people but rely on Him. This does not mean you become emotionless. No, a believer is not a stone. You may cry, you may feel hurt, you may miss someone, you may need time to heal. But your healing begins when you stop asking broken people to be your Lord. They are servants just like you. They are weak just like you. They need mercy just like you. So when people disappoint you, let the pain purify your expectations. Say, Allah, do not let my heart become hard. Do not let betrayal make me cruel. Do not let disappointment make me bitter. Teach me to place every person in their proper place and keep you above all. That is purification. When people no longer own your peace. When praise does not lift you too high. When criticism does not crush you too low. When abandonment does not make you abandon yourself. When you can be kind without being needy. When you can love without losing your center. When you can be alone and still feel watched by Allah with mercy. Then you are being prepared because Allah may reward you with people, opportunities and honor later. But first He teaches your heart that all honor belongs to Him. 4. The delay breaks your impatience and builds deep trust. The fourth sign Allah is purifying you for greater rewards is this. Your life begins to move slower than your desire. You pray, but the answer does not come when you expect it. You try, but the result is small. You plan, but the road changes. You watch others move forward while you feel like you are still waiting at the same door. This is one of the hardest purifications because delay does not only test your patience, it reveals your hidden view of Allah. When life is fast, we say Allah is kind. When doors open, we say Allah is generous. When things work out, we say Allah has heard me. But what happens when the door stays closed? What happens when the answer is not visible? What happens when you are still waiting after months or years or after a season that has made your heart tired? That is where purification begins. Because delay removes the shallow kind of trust and builds the deep kind. The shallow kind says, I trust Allah as long as He gives me what I want quickly. The deep kind says, I trust Allah even when I do not understand His timing. This does not mean you do not feel pain. It does not mean you never ask questions. It does not mean you never cry. It means your pain does not make you accuse Allah. It means your waiting does not make you leave obedience. It means your confusion does not make you run toward forbidden shortcuts. That is a purified heart. My brother, my sister, there are rewards that cannot be given to a restless soul. Because if Allah gives too early, the person may ruin the gift. A person may pray for marriage, but their character is still full of anger. A person may pray for wealth, but their heart is still full of arrogance. A person may pray for leadership, but their soul still loves control. A person may pray for recognition, but their intention is still mixed with showing off. A person may pray for ease, but they have not yet learned gratitude. So Allah delays. And during the delay, He works on what the person cannot see. He softens the tongue. He trains the temper. He deepens humility. He exposes envy. He strengthens discipline. He removes false friends. He changes habits. He teaches night prayer. He teaches silence. He teaches surrender. And by the time the reward comes, the person is not the same person who first asked for it. That is mercy. Sometimes you are not waiting for the reward. The reward is waiting for the purified version of you. Do not misunderstand this. Delay does not always mean you are doing something wrong. Sometimes delay is protection. Sometimes delay is preparation. Sometimes delay is redirection. Sometimes delay is the way Allah multiplies the reward because you kept trusting Him through uncertainty. But during delay, beware of one dangerous thing. Do not compare your timeline with someone else's. Comparison is a thief of trust. You look at someone else and say, they received it before me. But you do not know their test. You do not know their private tears. You do not know what their blessing is costing them. You do not know whether their open door is a reward, a test, or a responsibility heavier than it looks. And you do not know what Allah is protecting you from by making you wait. The person you envy may be begging Allah for the peace you already have. The house you envy may be full of arguments you never see. The marriage you envy may be carrying wounds you know nothing about. The success you envy may be built on stress that would crush your heart. So stop measuring Allah's love by the speed of delivery. Allah's timing is not late because your emotions are tired. Allah's wisdom is not absent because your eyes cannot see it. A farmer does not pull the seed out of the ground every day to check if it is growing. He waters it. He waits. He trusts the hidden process. Your heart is also being grown in hidden soil. Do not destroy the seed because you are impatient for the fruit. The delay may be teaching you to become a person of weight. A person who does not panic easily. A person who does not sell faith for speed. A person who does not rush into what harms them. A person who can stand at a closed door and still say, Allah knows what I do not know. That sentence is powerful. Not when life is easy. It is powerful when you are waiting. When you wanted yes and received silence. When you wanted now and received later. When you wanted one path and Allah turned you to another. That is where trust becomes real. And sometimes after a long delay, Allah gives you something better than what you ask for. But even before the gift arrives, the waiting has already changed you. You become less demanding, less arrogant, less rushed, less controlled by fear. You learn to ask without commanding. You learn to work without obsessing. You learn to hope without attaching your faith to one outcome. That is purification. When delay no longer makes you bitter. When waiting no longer makes you disobedient. When not understanding does not make you disrespectful toward Allah. When your heart can say, I still trust you, even with tears in your eyes. Then know this waiting is not empty. Allah may be preparing a reward, but He is also preparing the receiver. And the receiver is you. 5. Your heart becomes softer after pain, not harder. The fifth sign Allah is purifying you for greater rewards is this. Your pain does not make you cruel. It makes you softer. This is one of the clearest signs of purification. Because pain can do two things to a person. It can make them bitter, harsh, suspicious and proud. Or it can make them humble, gentle, wise and closer to Allah. The same fire that burns waste can also purify gold. The question is not only what happened to you. The deeper question is what is it turning you into? Some people go through betrayal and then betray others. Some people are mocked and then mock others. Some people are abandoned and then become cold to everyone. Some people suffer and then use their suffering as an excuse to harm. But when Allah is purifying a person, the pain becomes a school. They learn compassion. They learn patience. They learn to speak carefully because they know words can wound. They learn to check on people because they know silence can hide pain. They learn not to judge quickly because they know every face has a hidden story. They learn to forgive not because people deserve it, but because they want their own heart to be free. My brother, my sister, this is a rare kind of beauty, to be hurt and still not become hateful. To be tested and still not become unfair. To be broken and still not enjoy breaking others. To be disappointed and still not lose your manners. That is not weakness. That is strength under the light of faith. Anyone can be kind when life is easy. Anyone can smile when they are praised. Anyone can speak softly when they are respected. But when you are hurt and still fear Allah in how you respond, that is a sign of purification. When you have the chance to humiliate someone but you hold back for the sake of Allah, that is purification. When you could expose someone but you choose dignity, that is purification. When you could answer cruelty with cruelty but you choose restraint, that is purification. When your wound becomes wisdom instead of revenge, that is purification. Do not think Allah does not see that. He sees the message you did not send. He sees the insult you swallowed. He sees the anger you controlled. He sees the tears you wiped before standing in prayer. He sees the forgiveness you are trying to practice while your heart still aches. He sees your fight to remain a good person in a world that gave you many reasons to become hard. And perhaps that is why He is preparing a greater reward. Because a softened heart is a valuable heart. A humble heart can carry blessings safely. A gentle heart can be trusted with influence. A forgiving heart can be trusted with honor. A grateful heart can be trusted with increase. But a hard heart, even if it receives everything, is still poor. There are people who have money but no peace, attention but no sincerity, power but no mercy, knowledge but no humility, success but no tenderness. They gained the world but lost the softness of the heart. Do not envy that. A soft heart is a gift from Allah. Protect it. Yes, have boundaries. Yes, leave harmful situations. Yes, do not allow people to abuse you. Islam does not ask you to be naive, but do not let boundaries turn into hatred. Do not let distance turn into arrogance. Do not let wisdom turn into coldness. Do not let healing turn into revenge. A purified heart can say, I forgive, but I do not return to harm. It can say, I wish them well, but I choose peace. It can say, I learn from this, but I will not become cruel because of it. That is strength. And sometimes Allah allows you to experience pain so that later, when He brings wounded people into your life, you will not speak to them from theory. You will speak from understanding. You will become a mercy for someone else because you remember what it felt like to be alone. You will know how to comfort without judging. You will know how to advise without humiliating. You will know how to lift someone without making them feel small. Your wound may become a doorway through which Allah helps others, but only if you allow the pain to purify you, not poison you. So look at yourself honestly. After everything you went through, are you becoming softer toward the weak? Are you becoming more careful with your tongue? Are you becoming less impressed by worldly pride? Are you becoming quicker to return to Allah? Are you becoming more aware of your own faults? Are you becoming more merciful to people who are struggling? If yes, then do not call your pain wasted. Allah is growing something beautiful in you. The reward may not only be what Allah gives you later. The reward may be who you are becoming now. A cleaner heart, a quieter ego, a deeper trust, a softer soul. A person who has been through fire but still carries light. And my brother, my sister, listen to this before you forget. Not every hardship is a punishment. Not every loss is rejection. Not every delay is denial. Not every loneliness is abandonment. Sometimes Allah is purifying you because He wants to give you something greater than what your old self could handle. He may remove what was controlling you. He may make hidden sins feel heavy, so you return. He may test you through people, so you stop living for people. He may delay the reward, so your trust becomes real. He may soften your heart through pain. so you become worthy of carrying mercy. This is not an easy path. Purification never feels comfortable at first. When clothes are washed, they are rubbed, pressed, turned and rinsed. When gold is purified, it meets fire. When soil is prepared, it is broken before it receives seed. And when Allah purifies a heart, the heart may feel shaken before it feels peaceful. But after the shaking, something changes. You no longer chase what once controlled you. You no longer enjoy what once darkened you. You no longer collapse when people change. You no longer demand that life move according to your clock. You no longer want a reward that cost you your soul. You want Allah, you want cleanliness, you want peace that is not fake. You want a heart that can meet Allah without pretending. That is a greater reward already. So do not look at your current pain and assume nothing is happening. A seed under the soil sees only darkness, but above it, the gardener knows what is coming. You may be hidden now. You may be pressed now. You may be waiting now. You may be crying now. But Allah is not absent from your story. He is closer to you than your fear can understand. He knows the wound. He knows the lesson. He knows the reward. And when the purification has done what it was meant to do, you will understand why Allah did not let certain things stay. You will understand why some people had to leave. You will understand why some doors had to close. You will understand why your old self had to break, because Allah was not destroying you. He was cleaning you for what was coming. So be patient with the process. Return after every fall. Guard your heart. Keep your prayers alive. Keep your manners beautiful. Keep your trust in Allah strong. And never think your tears are unseen. The one who created the heart knows exactly when it aches. The one who allowed the test knows exactly when to bring relief. The one who purified you will not waste you. Your pain has a purpose. Your waiting has wisdom. Your loss has lessons. Your softness has value. And your reward, if Allah wills, may be greater than anything you are crying over today.